In 2018, a massive traffic jam brought the city of Hyderabad to a near standstill. Commutes that typically took 20 minutes stretched past 4 hours. The local police had to issue widespread traffic advisories, and radio hosts urged drivers to avoid the area completely. The opening of a single furniture store paralyzed the city. Today, IKEA generates $52 billion in annual sales across more than 445 global locations, attracting nearly 1 billion visitors every year. This level of global hysteria is highly unnatural for the furniture business. Furniture is traditionally a low-margin, highly localized, and fairly boring industry. People don't usually camp out for a bookcase. To reach that scale, IKEA actively breaks almost every rule of traditional retail. Instead of letting you browse freely, they trap you in a massive one-way maze that forces you to walk for miles. When you finally find what you want, you have to haul the heavy boxes yourself, take them home, and build the product with an Allen wrench. And to cap it all off, right in the middle of this grueling retail environment, they sell millions of plates of cheap Swedish meatballs. These choices might seem like eccentric retail quirks, but they are deliberate tools designed to influence how shoppers move and how much they spend. IKEA's entire business model is rooted in a concept called price-first design. Instead of designing a beautiful chair and figuring out what it costs to make, they start with a strict low-price target and engineer the product backward to hit that number. To do that, they had to solve a massive problem with traditional logistics. This animation shows a standard cargo truck loaded with pre-assembled furniture. The problem is volume occupancy. The vast majority of shipping space is dead empty air, highlighted in red. But if we collapse those sofas into flat-packed boxes, we eliminate the empty air. A truck that carried 2 sofas now carries 2 dozen. When you apply that same volume efficiency to a retail warehouse, you can stack massive quantities of inventory from the floor to the ceiling. By slashing shipping and storage costs to a fraction of the industry standard, IKEA gains the ability to mass-produce high-quality items at extremely low budget prices. They pass the savings to the customer, creating their foundational market advantage. With the logistics solved, the company turns its attention to your brain. The average IKEA is 300,000 square feet, and its fixed-path layout essentially forces shoppers to view the company's entire massive catalog before they are allowed to leave. This triggers a psychological principle known as the Gruen Effect. The layout is so vast and bewildering that you quickly lose track of the original reason you came to the store. As you navigate the winding maze, your decision-making shifts away from logic and heavily toward emotional impulse buying. The one-way path also creates a highly effective false sense of scarcity. When you see a throw pillow or a lamp you really like, your brain instantly realizes that if you walk away now, you will have to backtrack through a mile of crowded, twisting aisles to find it again. To avoid the friction, you toss it in your cart. Eventually, the walking and the decision fatigue begin to wear you down. That is exactly why IKEA runs a $2 billion a year food operation right in the middle of the store. Eating triggers the release of dopamine. A plate of meatballs chemically shifts your mood, making you relaxed, patient, and highly likely to continue wandering the maze and buying unplanned items, rather than leaving the store hungry to reconsider your purchases. Once you are fed and back in the aisles, IKEA controls exactly which items you pull off the shelf using decoy pricing. Let's look at this setup. Option A is $40, B is $60, and C is $65. Revealing features, A is a solid budget choice. C is premium with complimentary bins. B uses cheaper materials and lacks premium features. Option B exists solely as a decoy, steering your brain into perceiving option C as an incredible bargain. This tactic successfully drives up the average order value for premium buyers, while simultaneously ensuring budget buyers feel smart for picking the $40 option. Both demographics leave feeling victorious, securing their loyalty to the brand. The final friction point happens in your own living room. You have to open the flat pack and spend your afternoon assembling the furniture yourself. To understand why this actually works in the company's favor, we can look back to a 1950s market study by General Mills. They had developed a revolutionary instant cake mix, where housewives only had to add water, bake it, and pull out a perfect cake. The product was a total market failure. By removing all the effort from the baking process, the mothers felt like they were deceiving their families. Because they hadn't struggled, they felt the resulting cake had no real value. General Mills solved the problem by slightly changing the recipe to require the customer to crack and add a fresh egg themselves. By introducing a minor physical hurdle, they restored the perceived sanctity of the labor, and sales skyrocketed. This cognitive quirk is now formally known as the IKEA Effect. By forcing you to suffer through the friction of assembling the product, the company hacks your brain into assigning disproportionate value and personal affection to a cheap, mass-produced piece of particle board. IKEA's dominance relies on a closed-loop system of behavioral economics, an efficient sales machine. The layout dictates your physical movement, the food dictates your mood, pricing decoys dictate value perception, and assembly dictates long-term brand loyalty. Walking to the car with a trolley full of unplanned items is the final stage of the strategy. Inside the IKEA ecosystem, the feeling of free choice is a result of meticulous design.